I saw something recently about nudity in entertainment, and there were a few like debates about it, but I haven't looked into it all the way. I was watching, I don't know if you guys watch Philip DeFranco, but I was watching him and his newest video today. His channel is basically, he's a YouTuber. He started on YouTube like maybe, I don't know, but it's been over a decade for him. And he's like a news YouTube channel basically. And so he was talking about how there's a situation with Sweeney, what's her name again? Not me not knowing the people's name. No, the woman from Euphoria that plays Cassie. What's her first name again? I can't think of it. I knew it before, like I had it on my head, but like it's left me. But that's what we're going to be talking about today, like, and my experience with that in the entertainment industry. Because I feel like of course, like depending on what project you're working on, it can be kind of sussy when you have to do nude scenes, but there should be someone there from the team. When I say the team, I mean SAG, like the union team that is on set to make sure nothing sussy does happen. But as you know, when power comes into situations, things can get different. But I really hope for the most part now, or if in the past 2 years and moving forward, that less of this happens where people feel like they have to do nude scenes, or there has to be more of that to get roles in other what do you call them, forms of entertainment like shows and movies and whatever else. But I want to see, I was going to pull up Twitter to see what was going on, because when I tell you that I just like, this just pulled up for me, like I was on my way home and I was like, oh, let's see what the latest episode of Philly D is about. And like on the headline, so let me just go to YouTube right now, because I'm like, I should know her name. But the way I do this show, you guys know, is that like I pick a topic and I go with it. But yeah, I have it pulled up right now. Okay. See, her name confuses me because there's two S's, but it's Sydney Sweeney. So, okay, I'm gonna just give y'all the tea on what I saw from the show. Hey, what's good? Emmeline or Emmeline? What's good? Thank you for joining. So, Sydney Sweeney was saying that basically when she's nude, no one really talks about her work in like a higher regard. And when she does acting, like she's talking about her acting in White Lotus, like people were like, oh my gosh, like what is she doing next? And the next thing that she did was the next season of Euphoria, and no one was like really like talking about like her acting in the new season of Euphoria. I haven't seen the new season yet. I believe there are 3 episodes, right? I saw season 1. I believe that was back in 2019, if I'm correct. I enjoyed that season, and I will be watching the new one, but I like to like basically binge watch, but maybe I'll like watch some more and see like what the hype is now, you know? But it is a good show, and it is a very dramatic show, and a lot of people have mixed opinions about it. But overall, I say it's doing pretty well. So shout out to the HBO team and the casting. But there is a side to that show that is like, there aren't very many black characters, but we're not talking about that today. We're talking about nudity. Yeah, Sydney Sweeney, she did a great job in season 1. Yeah, I like the show. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, she like felt a way about people like having feelings about her being nude. Like they don't give her credit when she's nude. And I could see how that is an issue for women versus like men. Hey, what's good? Was it Pointer? Yeah, like so when it's men doing work with nudity, there's not really an issue, and they go on to get awards for the work that they're in that has nudity in it. But with women, it's giving a different vibe. And that just ties into like the overall, you know, sexism and prejudice that is just in different parts of life, but it transfers over to working life. And I just it's just like how is this still happening? And I just like I don't understand. Like she already did the work, you know. It's not like even if she didn't. See, that's where it gets kind of crazy. Like even you got to it's like ingrained in there about like what counts as like good work and stuff, cuz obviously like women's bodies are more subjected to criticism and such, while men, they do get criticized, but it's nowhere near the same degree as women. And just like doing anything that has to like do with their bodies, women, like a lot of people, like I was going to say mostly men get upset about it, but it's also women too, just because of how everything is like in the system. It's like, oh, like, you know, it's just baked in there, like sexism and misogyny and all that. So you'd hear women talking about it too, like, oh, like she doesn't need to do this and that, and but then when men do it, it's like, But I will say on the other side, the Christian side, they just don't want to see nudity at all, which is like, yeah, I get it, but also I feel like shows and TV, like it's a form of like art and it's definitely entertainment. So a lot of people want to see like edgier things, and a lot of shows do it tastefully, I would say, but sometimes it could get very I guess graphic or whatever, like not really graphic, but like more like they're like it's kind of extra, but that's TV. Like people aren't gonna watch like boring stuff, you know. So yeah, yeah, boobs are good. I feel like what is the problem besides it being like, I guess it's still ingrained in there. Like what do you guys think? Like why should her work not be judged if there are a lot of nude scenes in her work? Like why are people like discarding it versus like when men are nude in shows like in 2022? Like we should be moving forward by now, you know what I'm saying? Like there shouldn't be people like judging someone for like what their work is included in, you know, like if their body's included in the work, like their naked body, because it's not like she is doing something wrong. And anybody who's nude in any sort of production, because if that's a part of like the story, her character is like dealing with like certain things, which I said I didn't watch the show, the new season of the show yet, so I don't know the whole story of what's like why her character is nude. No, see the thing is, you saying how come Zendaya didn't have to be nude in scenes where there were nudity. That's the thing. So I'm giving y'all from my perspective of working. I So with my character and Betty, right? The character is based on me. And so when I had some partial nudity scenes, they ask you like how much like are you like comfortable showing of your body? And like you can also be like, hey, like I don't want this part showing. So then the cameraman, the DP, will like shoot from certain angles and stuff. So yeah, you definitely don't have to be nude, but she did have a character. Let me see. By her partners and guys in general. Who's Zendaya or Sydney? Whose character? I feel like you're talking about Sydney's character, Cassie, right? So yeah, like you choose, and then you know the script, what's going on in the script, and depending on the team working on the project, right? You're gonna like have some compromises of like what you're willing to do for the project and what you're not willing to do. And she discussed that she was okay with filming nude scenes, and there were times where she wasn't comfortable, and she told, was it the director? I believe she told the director, and he was like, okay, we don't have to do that. So it's giving this director is respecting boundaries. So that's really good because she said there were other films, works of art that she's been in that she felt really disgusting about some of the scenes and work she had to do that included nudity. So yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, her character, I remember in the first season that she was dating an athlete, and was it her first time or something? And then yeah, like it was their first time being intimate, and they did show, I don't remember them showing too much nudity, but they did show a scene of like intimacy. And that's another thing with any scene where two actors and actresses are going to be like, you know, intimate. So there's either going to be, there should be an intimacy coach there, and they work you through the scenes of like how it's actually going to go down, is which is crazy. Like, so what scene did I do? Like season 2 of Betty, I don't know if y'all watched it yet, but there's a threesome scene, and then there's other scenes. And we had an intimacy coach come through and tell us like which ways we could do what and what we feel comfortable with. And we did like exercises to get comfortable, like being like, you know, just like touching the other person. And there were like no spots of not to touch the other person. So yeah, like it's not just all like, they just throwing people in there. I can't speak for everyone because everyone's going through different parts of their career and how they want to move their career forward. But I really hope people that are just getting into acting like don't feel like they need to do as many and as graphic of nude scenes to get further in acting, because there are, I don't know specifically any directors and teams that are sussy. So, but there are going to be some teams that are, and they are like taking advantage of young people trying to get into acting and willing to do whatever it takes to cement themselves and get different roles. So they'll do certain things in the project that they're currently working on. But yeah, I believe that kind of stuff should definitely be changing. It's definitely not the same way as it's been like maybe 12, 20 years ago. Anywhere before the maybe even 5 years, to be honest, because the Me Too movement didn't happen until like, what was it, 2018, right? It's so crazy. And I just hope everybody that's entering any sort of entertainment doesn't like have to feel like they need to do anything that is making them feel unsafe and unheard and undervalued or pressured in any way, because that's not something that's fun to do, and then you don't get the results you want if you were to do that thing. So yeah, acting is very interesting, and just the whole like working with people in general, like people of certain degree and certain gender. Like I just don't see why people can appreciate treating everyone like an equal, because it's like, what do you gain from getting power over someone because, oh, they can't do this because they're a woman, oh, they can't like dress a certain way because they're a woman, oh, like she needs to do this and that. So like the only thing you're feeding really is your ego, and what, like, that's it. It's just not, it's not good, you know what I'm saying? Like it's weird that people need that, like that ego kind of like fulfillment to feel good about themselves and their position in life. Like, and even I think it's people like also like testing their power or whatever, or like testing how far they can go without getting in trouble. But I really hope that all the stuff that's been happening in the past few years and with this situation is letting people know that it's not okay. because it isn't. And I want to see people doing better and having more works and more people that are in powerful positions, like directors of like the films, the directors of casting, producers, executive producers, everyone involved that is like in a position where someone might feel like they're going to get fired or something if they don't do a certain thing. I hope like we all can come to an understanding that we're all just, you know, people, and we're trying to get a project done, and it's going to be lit if everyone's feeling safe and heard and not like they need to do a specific thing to get in a specific place. And that was my TED Talk.